speaking of big opponents and also in the lightweight division, obviously probably right now the most noise considering, you know, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, that whole situation. Do you think that like Conor will come back to defend his title this year, or do you think that fight with Floyd would happen first?
Yeah, that fight with Floyd, it's going to happen, you know. Yeah. You know, Floyd's management reached out to me a little while ago and asked me to be a part of the camp. So, you know, I'm excited to do that. You know, I could use a couple bucks in my pocket, that's for sure. You know, that fight's going to happen. Will he come back and fight MMA? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he really wants to work, you know. And I can't blame him for it because I probably do the same thing, you know. Why fight Tony, you know, that you stand a very good chance of losing. And even if you do beat him, you're going to be in for a rough night. You might as well fight Mayweather, make some money, and, you know, it's a win-win situation for him. If he loses, which he's going to lose, he don't stand a chance in the fight. He knows it going in. He's just there for the cash grab, and then he'll come back, he'll fight Diaz or somebody like that, or even bump up and fight Tyrone before he jumps down and mess with us real killers down here at 155. He ain't stupid.
So when do you start training with Floyd?
Well, I haven't heard back yet because apparently training camp is starting soon for him, but I haven't heard back yet. I assume they're probably going to want him to get into shape first before we start doing any type of sparring. So the fight they're talking about happening in June. I hear that he's starting training camp like either this week or next week. I'm assuming 3 weeks for him to get into shape to be able to ready to spar. So I don't know. I'll hear back. I think that right now they're working on the logistics of the fight and before setting up the training camp. Because
Floyd, from what I've seen, he was in Russia, right?
Yeah. I guess they're saying that they might want to make the fight happen in Russia. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know much of the inside of the fight working. You know, I just know what they tell me. So I honestly have no idea. But I would assume it's going to be here in Vegas. You know, it's got to be here in Vegas. I think he's got a long-term contract with MGM, and they'll probably throw it at T-Mobile Arena.
Now, do you think that super fight is good for MMA, or what are your thoughts in regards to that happening?
It's great for MMA. You know, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. And all things considering, as long as the UFC gets their cut, you know, which I think is the only thing holding them back, is to negotiate the UFC's number, because I'm pretty sure the UFC is going to want a third. You know. Which is in a fight of this magnitude. I mean, that's a lot of money. But as one thing, Floyd ain't gonna knock out Conor. You know, Conor's a much bigger man. I expect Conor to come out and try and sling Floyd around a little bit in the clinch. You know, try and wear him down. If things get too hectic about that 7th, 8th round, he might even start. You know, I don't know. He might start to rough him up with some elbows, or you know, I'm pretty sure Floyd's gonna have us prepare him for that. You know, being able to throw him around and maybe even kick him a little bit. So you know, you never know. But it's great for MMA just because there's no downside. It's horrible for boxing. I ain't gonna lie. You know, and they paying me, so I better. But you know, it's horrible for. I think it's gonna kill the sport of boxing. But the money's too large to pass up.
Now, you mentioned just recently about Nate Diaz, and there's been, you know, some talk, and Dana White saying that he's turned down quite a few fights because he kind of wants to wait for that potential third fight with Conor. Yeah, do you blame him for waiting?
I mean, however they're promoting these dudes is great. I mean, the Diaz brothers, I mean, because these dudes barely fight, you know? They barely fight, and then they barely win on top of that. But if you ask their fans, they're real fighters, you know? I mean, I don't know. He's doing it for the money, you know? He's a prize fighter just like, you know, just like the rest of us. So I don't... It's smart, yeah, because he's got the money to sit back. You know, if he was starving for money, he would be fighting. I think he's going to sit back, wait until this Floyd thing catches out. Because, again, the fight that I think would excite McGregor the most about coming back would be the Diaz. And it would lose a lot of steam if Diaz was to go out and lose, which I think he knows that he would.
Well, first things first, most important is your big win, of course, and your win streak. And, you know, with it already feeling like summer and July just around the corner, we can't wait to see you back in the cage. I know you want that fight in Detroit, but right now, too, I mean, you're kind of a Vegas resident, you know?
That's true. But, you know me, I got to push for it. You know, I got to put on. And the city needs something. The UFC can make a lot of money there, and the UFC can bring a lot of money to to the community and create a lot of jobs and maybe get the downtown area is really booming now. They're starting to bring it back up, and now's the perfect time. It's the perfect time for a renaissance in Detroit, and I'm looking to lead that charge. If it's bringing the UFC there to make some money, we just got to get the fans of Detroit to go out. I leave on Wednesday for Detroit. I'll do a big media tour with all the big media press out there, and we gonna make it happen. That's for damn sure.
And I'm sure they're very proud of you down there.
Yeah. I got a lot of family, a lot of love, and I'm always put on for them.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Kevin, and congratulations once again on the big win and the continued success and training with Mayweather coming up.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should make some money, and it'll be a fun time. I hang around Mayweathers all the time. Sparring there feels just like a fight. So I love to fight. I can't think of nothing better to do in the world.